Well, hello everyone. If you're here, I'm here alone for the moment. David has promised he is on his way shortly, and so I am left to chit chat. Well, hi Tim. I hope you're doing well. Magpie and Viren, hello. Animations, I guess. I love that name. Just I guess. And hello, Jonathan. It is a beautiful, cloudy April day here. But Jonathan, I'm pretty sure I'm the one who killed them. So I feel like that's something that David would need to do when I'm out of the room, and I feel like it's something he would do if I were out of the room for too long. The language would definitely change. Oh, yeah, I'm actually interested in seeing the final results because I felt like for a couple of the levels, a few of the options were pretty close. And so when we get to the poll results, I am excited to find out what's going to happen. Oh, Alice, welcome. Glad you're here for the first time live. Yay! Well, Bubba, I think I still kept him around. Yes, here he is. He seems a little harried. Oh, wow. You seem very harried. Does that mean the poll didn't go well? You just kind of threw that.
What was interesting?
Interesting as in,
want to do the poll
no.
now, or do we want to do other news?
Well, we could do other news because then when we do the poll, that could kind of lead into, today's work. And we have some very specific goals today as well.
All right. Switch places.
Oh, we're doing this, all right.
I am the captain now. Momentarily. Okay.
Just don't move the window around. I have it perfectly spaced for if we need Lexergy. So,
Is it up?
Yeah.
Oh, here. Hold on a sec. We should probably zoom this in.
Well, then it won't be perfectly spaced anymore, but okay.
What? No, this isn't going to change.
Okay.
Yeah.
There we go. Sure.
The video froze for a moment on my end, with David in the background looking full cryptid. Okay. I can't tell whether I'm under the weather or just... Okay. Well, that's good.
Hopefully we came back.
All right.
Live?
Yeah. Oh, goodness. Everybody's exhausted. I'll throw myself into that category, too. I've been going to sleep very late, waking up very late. So I've been burning those candles at both ends. And then I've been doing stuff in between. It's been a heck of a couple of days. But we got some big news. First of all, you may have some sort of fever dream of us mentioning that CopyCon was going to be at Georgetown University, but now we can officially announce that CopyCon is going to be at Georgetown University. And so that's very exciting. We'll talk about that. But I also wanted to mention that we are going to do two other things. Number one, CopyCon registration is now going to be opened up for everybody. So patrons kind of had their chance. And really, it's not so much, and I want you to know this, it's not so much it's like, it's not because it's so exclusive, it's that space is so small, because we only have like 50 seats. Anyway, so now CopyCon registration is up for grabs. We'll send you a link, and to entice you, I thought maybe we would throw in another CopyCon speaker joining us. So it's going to be me and Jesse and Carl and John Quijada and Sally Caves and Sylvia Sotomayor and
Yay!
Mark Okrand, creator of Klingon. You may have heard of him. This is a picture I snapped of him in Amarillo. Let's see. He created Klingon, Atlantean. He actually created Vulcan as well. And then the other one, Kelly?
I'm sorry, I can't help you.
Kieli is the word for language in Finnish. Italian, I think it is. In something like the shorts or whatever. Anyway,
Because my favorite of his languages is actually one that doesn't get much airtime, and that's the Atlantean language from the Atlantis cartoon, the Disney cartoon,
Right.
which I thought was just like brilliantly done, and I loved it. So it was very exciting.
Yeah. So Mark will be there joining us too, and yeah, we will still have at least one more speaker to announce. I hope two, but we'll see. It might just be one. It might be three. I don't know. It depends on what kind of time we have, really. That's all it is. It's depending on what kind of time we have. So anyway, first I wanted to mention more about the location now. So yeah, it's going to be at Georgetown University, which is in Washington, D.C., but specifically it is in the residential area known as Georgetown, which is kind of, how would you describe that? I guess
Across
to
the
this,
river.
yeah, it's like across the river, and it's kind of like, it's an old style area. It's the land that public transportation forgot. So it's going to be, oh, hey, Kay. It's going to be a little bit of an adventure getting there. But once you do get there, we have this nice map of where it's going to be. It's going to be in this place called Copley Formal Lounge. It's very nice. It's not going to look like this. It's actually going to have conference style seating. From a DVD?
I don't know.
Did we make a DVD? Is there a LangTime DVD?
I don't know.
Did we release season 1 on DVD with extras?
No. But you know.
Do you want us to release each season of LangTime on DVD so that you can put it into your DVD player, which we all have, and watch it, and we can put like looping intro music at the beginning, and
we may have like opened up a YouTube video that was actually from a DVD or something.
Huh.
I don't know.
And, you know, that's probably what younger people will have to do now. If they get a DVD player, they'll have to go to YouTube to figure out what to do with it.
Mateus wants an extended LTS cut with commentary.
Yeah. Oh man, that would
obviously.
I've mentioned that would be a good special episode.
Well, we have tried that, if you recall.
We did?
Yes, and it was difficult because people said it was difficult to manage like the audio from the video playing with us talking over it. And it was like a little bit of an overlap issue in terms of really being able to hear everything. And so whether that would mean like muting out the old video while we talk with commentary, or like
to have closed captioning
or something, because we did do it. We did do that for one special episode.
Yeah.
And we even, I think, made popcorn for it or something.
Yeah. There was what was I going to say? I think that's why it's audio mixed when you have DVD commentary on actual DVDs.
Yeah.
But
I will say the bloopers, because we're live, they're all out here. Although we could like, you know, make a cut of them and get some of the best.
Yeah.
Wow, I can't believe that was on air.
If you've never explored the playlists on our YouTube channel, there is actually a playlist for when we were testing the stream at the beginning, and they're like, you know, little like 1 to 7 minute videos of us like practicing. Those are fun. Anyway. But so here's the thing. So when you get to Georgetown, and maybe somebody can put a bookmark at this section so we can come back to it, right? There's the campus. You know, it's a middle-sized campus. There is this place where all the buses drop off, and I've drawn a little walking map to Copley Hall. And then once you get into Copley Hall, I'm assuming that there will be information there on how to get to the lounge.
There's a stray apostrophe on the "It's a 9-minute walk."
Oh my God, I'm gonna fix that. Anyway, yeah. So anyway, oh, perfect. 410. There we go. Anyway, so yeah, so the bus will drop off here, and you can get a nice little walk there. It shouldn't be a big deal. There is we're figuring out how food is going to happen, but there's going to be food that's open at like a nearby building that you can get. And then you see this thing here. It says Guts Rosslyn Shuttle. So you didn't hear this from me, but there are these shuttle buses that run for free that take students from more populous areas onto the campus, including from all the drop-off points for various buses and metro stations that are nearby, the closest ones. And to get on this bus, all you need to do is show your Georgetown University ID, but they never check it. So like when we were there, we just straight up hopped on the bus, took us, did the same thing going back. It has been suggested, I won't say by whom, it has been suggested that even if they challenge you and ask for your ID, you can simply say, I am here for a university event. There is this thing. You can show them a flyer and they'll just say, you know, what you want. These buses are never over full, and especially as this is going to be a Saturday, probably. Very few people are going to be on it.
Do they run regularly on Saturdays, or do they run it less?
Apparently they do.
Interesting.
Apparently they do. So,
and thank you, Miles.
Yeah. Also, I want to point out the local information down here. I know I mentioned this before, but there is a metro in Washington, D.C., unlike in a lot of American cities, that functions more or less pretty well. And if you have an iPhone, you can actually just get, you can load it up on your phone straight away. The buses are going to work for that too, but I think that the buses are going to be free by the time KobeCon happens.
There's a push for that. I don't know when exactly it's supposed to happen, but I thought it was sometime in 2023. But
yeah. Anyway,
I will say it was relatively reasonably priced when we did the metro on our last trip there. And if you take a metro ride, they actually don't charge you for the connecting buses. Do you remember that? Where it's like...
That's right, yeah.
They ended up not charging us for the bus rides because in their mind, it's like, oh, you're using public transportation to get to multiple places. And so you essentially pay your $4 or $5 or whatever for the whole trip, and they don't charge you extra for the transfers that you have to make.
Yeah.
And so that was pretty nice.
Metro stations are also connect to both major airports, which are Dulles and Ronald Reagan. And then if you want to go into Baltimore, because it ends up being cheaper for whatever reason, there's an Amtrak train that goes from Baltimore to Washington, D.C., and both train stations are lovely. So yeah, I recommend. Anyway, so, also, by the way, there's a special text-only version of the website. I don't know if you ever saw that. But
nice.
How do I hit the back button?
Well, unfortunately, you have to
Why
move
don't we
it.
just do this?
Because, okay.
See?
But then it was going to make I had sized it out for all of Lexergy to be visible, but also to maximize the space of the Patreon. So it's fine.
We can do this.
It's fine.
All right. Anyway, but I prefer this version.
So you didn't need a back button anyway. You just needed to go to return to main site.
I suppose you're right.
But it's okay. It's fine.
Here,
we will deal.
You want to take a look at it?
No, it's good. It's good.
I mean, you don't trust me. Here.
It is fine. Let's get to poll results or talk more KobeCon instead of talking about.
Okay. Anyway, so yeah, KobeCon Saturday, probably starting at 10 a.m. Even though I'd prefer it start later since I've been waking up at 10 a.m. lately. But this is who you have so far.
So far is very important to say.
Yeah. All right. Okay, so then now we're going to get to the poll, and we're going to, well, I guess since I'm doing the poll, I should stay here. I'm going to tell you, okay, so we were talking about what kind of demonstratives to have, and do we want, okay, there's a winner to the poll. However, if you want to treat all of these axia separately, we might have a different winner.
Which is funny because you would always, when I was in charge of results, be like, you need to calculate it in 8 different ways. gonna put this on you. Um, it's difficult for me because it's like, was it more important to say get singular versus plural or proximal versus distal? Like, in terms of like what made somebody choose a particular option, I feel like you were voting for the set. I think it's difficult given. I mean, all we could do is say group singular versus plural together and animate versus inanimate together. I think
Well,
that's the only.
there's also proximal distal versus proximal medial distal. But let's I'm going to throw this out here. I'm just going to throw this out right away. C and D got like no votes. I don't know if it was. I mean, here it looks like C got a vote, but I mean combined C and D got like 2 votes. So oh.
Oh yeah, LCC 10 is coming up soon. I am so excited that Matisse is going to be there. Get to meet Matisse in person.
Woo!
But anyway,
Yeah, so we don't have to worry about singular versus plural. No votes.
if they are asking about the patron stream, it would have to be the 29th, yeah?
Yeah, patron stream's going to have to be the 29th.
Because we're going to be.
Which is the usual time, by the way. The patron stream is usually on the last Saturday of the month.
Except when it's not. That does
Right.
happen. But we
It is
do
the default.
try.
It is the
We
default.
try to make it the last Saturday.
Yeah. Anyway, okay, so yeah, we don't have to worry about singular versus plural. That was out. These two were not popular. A got a few votes, but actually, now that I say that, yeah, A got like a couple of votes, but it was also not popular. So in third place was B. So this would have just been proximal, medial, and distal. I want you to keep that in mind as we move on to the final two, which was E and F. E and F has an animate-inanimate distinction. The only difference between it is proximal versus distal and proximal medial distal. All right? The final tally, F is, shoot, which one was the winner?
Oh my gosh. Did you
Crap.
write it down?
Holy crap. Hold on a sec. I can just look at it and eyeball it. Yeah. Okay, I'm so sorry. E was the winner. E was the winner. Proximal versus distal, animate versus inanimate. The tally was 11-10. It won by 1 vote. Now, if you were to add in the other axia, it is my belief that F would win. Proximal, medial versus distal. But this was the winner by 1 vote.
So we're definitely having animate versus inanimate. The question is, should we group along multiple axes to say that more people wanted the 3 level? Oh, well, David, I feel like this is where we need to switch seats. You need to pop into YouTube and create a little poll and see what our live viewers think
And I feel
about this little conundrum.
I should probably.
Oh, I ran into my desk. So if we did the grouping, then F would win with a 3-way distinction, animate versus inanimate. There we go. So the winner is either going to be E or F. The question is, do we take into consideration that B received many more votes than A, which indicates that there is a sort of leaning toward a 3-way distinction? Should we take that into account? Because these two were only 1 vote apart. So it's not like there was like a clear, E is the winner by a landslide. We don't need to worry about it. It's that they were so close. Do we take into account the fact that B was much more popular than A?
And I'm gonna get
in terms of C and D, you said there was only like 1 vote for C.
I'm gonna get some hard numbers for everybody.
Okay. So David's getting the super numbers. Tethys is like, as an F voter, I think. Love it. Oh, and Jake is a B voter and they would not prefer F to E. So that's interesting. So even though they chose B as their favorite option overall, they would actually prefer E, which takes away the third distinction. Um, and yeah, Anime Fan, we have definitely had to change words due to sound changes. Um, oh, hey, Karis.
By the way, I did get the vote right.
Well, that's a relief.
You know, the big vote right.
Um,
C was the least pop. I'm sorry, D was the least popular.
and Jake, the extra stuff for the distal only mattered if we did not have an animate or inanimate distinction. Having animate and inanimate distinction means that at all three levels, we would have animate and inanimate sets. And so the within earshot would no longer apply. That only applied because I had this idea that the medial versus distal differences would actually be like, because dogs really rely on hearing so much, it would be like well, I can hear it whether or not I can see it, because a lot of times what you do with that medial and distal is something like it's within sight, or like it's super far away. And so I thought it would be cool to use within earshot to be medial. That only works if it makes noise, though. Obviously inanimate things that are technically within your earshot, you would never know because they don't make noise. And so we added that sort of distinction to that. However, with an animate versus inanimate, that kind of dissolves that. And so it would just be like you would have those two sets at the three different levels, or two different levels of nearness or farness.
Wow. So I added up the hard numbers. And if you remove all of the other ones and only retain their votes for the axia that are relevant for E and F, it's a tie. So
So that means E technically still wins because it won something.
yeah, so E wins by one vote with the regular vote, and it's a tie with the other.
But with it being a tie, I am inclined to go with the E vote because that actually won.
All right.
And so maybe we won't do a poll here.
All right.
Should we? I don't know. Oh my gosh, David, give me feedback.
All right. So E is the winner.
He's not giving me feedback.
E is the big winner.
He's just going with what I'm saying.
And now we're going to have a poll. Should we have done a poll?
Death is once fun. Thank you, David.
Mm-hmm.
You can vote on how we should vote. Oh my gosh.
I should have made the choices no and Brexit. See what happened.
Oh my gosh. Oh, Karis is saying, and Axia, I believe is what David did say. Karis is saying, we could also use like within nose shot.
Oh, I'm sorry. Axia is the plural of axiom. Axes is the plural of axis.
Yeah. And I think I just
said... Very
said...
sorry.
I may have repeated what you said without thinking, but yeah, you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
Yeah, well.
I was thinking that, or strata or something,
Oh gosh, our poll results for this week were really close, and so we were taking votes into consideration about whether we should have calculated like all votes for proximal versus distal and then all votes for the three-way distinction, because E nosed out F by one vote, but then found out that it was a tie and that the voters were completely torn between the two-way and the three-way distinction, in which case I said E should win because it at least won something. And so then we didn't poll, even though we were going to poll. It was a whole thing. And now David's wanting to know, should we have polled? And 60% of our viewers think we should have had a poll. So do it. Give them the poll, David. They want a poll. Let's do this.
I call malarkey on that, but fine. Since Bibleridian wills it, we will have a poll. Okay.
20 votes. That means there was like an 8 to 12 kind of distribution.
We have an animacy distinction in our demonstratives. Should there further be a three-way locative distinction or a two? Oh, your question is too long.
You can just say, should there be a two or three-way distinction?
That's one character too long, especially since now it's two characters too long because I had to have the extra hyphen.
Take out inner.
Hold on. Here we go.
Oh my gosh. Wait till you see what David just did. Well, in Mateus, we can always just go with, this is really just a should question. We can always just go back and say there's not.
Okay. All right, there we are.
Here we are. David is doing a poll. Once we get the poll done and we put the results into the document, we then have some very serious business to attend to today.
Yes, we do.
If David can spell Bibleridian correctly to channel the bib energy.
There's only two I's, right?
I'm waiting to see how you spelled it. Yeah, you're good. You're good. You got the Ian, not the Biblerodon. Okay, so I'm really curious.
There's actually three names.
Waiting for it to pop up. Bib, Larid, Ian. Nice.
Yeah. Bib is, of course, short for Bibithy.
Oh, nice. I thought it was Bibolomew, so. Okay. I know, right, Jake? I like the weave contraction that David used in the poll. How many votes we got, by the way?
A disturbing number of votes. Oh my God, just pushing it further. I really think some of you are gaming the system. I don't know how, and I can't prove it. And I'm not going to do anything to try to prove it. But I know.
I am.
Yeah, it's just pushing further.
Wow. So, yeah, this is. Oh.
Yeah. No.
Did you end it?
I absolutely did. Like
I didn't hear you press anything, and so I thought YouTube was like, the shenanigans are over.
Do you often hear my button presses?
I do.
Yeah. How about that?
Do you not?
What?
Do you not? Did you hear that cute little? See, I heard that.
Right.
It must have happened while I was talking.
Yeah, I think so.
Whilst I was talking.
Oh, man.
Huh. Well, if you weren't allowed to vote, and we have more votes than viewers, that is disturbing.
Of course, this thing never actually tells you how many people are actually watching. It's really weird. Like, we have no way of knowing it. Like how could...
Magpie wanted a two-way distinction. Does that mean you didn't vote? Or, like, you couldn't vote? Like, huh. Sounds like... Oh, well, that's really unfortunate. We apparently have a buggy voting system. Okay, so...
Should we do the long form paper ballots?
I think so.
Mm.
Mail everybody their ballot, and in roughly 4 weeks, to give the mail time to work both directions.
Well,
We'll say in 4 weeks we'll have this. Oh my gosh! It crashed Tabby out of the stream. Isn't this concerning?
yeah, I think this vote is poxed. I think we have to go with the original winner
I think so.
and let us speak no more about it. Because ultimately, what's going to happen here is the Spaniels would have had a three-way distinction, but most of the others had a two-way distinction. The Chihuahuas were going to speak up in favor of the Spaniels, but unfortunately were shouted down by the Corgis, who said that this was the tyranny of the minority. And so
I feel though that like this is getting very mousy bureaucratic. I'm not entirely sure that
it's not mouse bureaucracy.
Okay.
No. This is because mice have the entire different thing. There's much more shouting or barking with the dogs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alice is joining us from New Zealand.
Oh.
Wow,
That's so
it's
nice.
already 9:30 tomorrow morning in New Zealand. It's so wild.
Is it 9:30 tomorrow or 9:30 yesterday?
Tomorrow, because they're ahead of us.
Yeah. No, we're not on Top Chat. We're on Live Chat. Remember, Mateus, it tells you that you're on Top Chat because of the new change to OBS. But I can assure you, I can take a photograph of this and put it on Discord. We are on Live Chat.
Barker. I can't even say that. Barkocracy? Barkocracy. No. Barkocracy. I can't really say it, but I love the wordplay, Bubba. I'm really working on that. All right, so
Yeah.
let's go ahead and make this canon.
Yeah.
Canon, of course, means going with the original vote and ignoring everything that has happened here.
There we go. All right, then.
We had demonstratives down here.
Barkography. Right now, I'm imagining a picture of a dog, in like a general's jacket, and it says, General Ruffington, a barkography.
Oh my God, that's amazing. Huh. Interesting. We really are on live chat.
No, and here's the thing, Mateus. When I say that we are on live chat, I mean on this computer right here, and also on mine over here. We are on live chat. However, it is broadcasting Top Chat. That's the issue. So it's not like it's some sort of a weird glitch where it's live chat that says it's Top Chat. It is broadcasting Top Chat because when we take the URL from this window and paste it into OBS, which is what you're supposed to do, it doesn't know how to change between live and Top Chat. It just takes the first one. The first one is always Top Chat.
Regardless of the fact that we switch it to live chat before copying the link. So it's switched over before I copy the link.
Yeah, I know. There's nothing we can do.
And so it's really, so sorry about that. Frustrating. All right. So,
yeah,
it is most curious. I'm down in the demonstrative section if you want to come join me.
Yeah, do we want to do that now, or?
Well, I figured we would just write in this real quick description.
Good idea.
We don't need to.
Good idea.
We don't need to go all out and create that.
Okay.
Yeah, not info.
No.
You can call me anytime though.
We have to remember we're in the document, where we're live streaming, not to accidentally press that button. It'd be disastrous.
We had to try to shut down the stream before it actually hit because there's that little tiny lag. Would we be able to shut everything down?
So yeah, literally, I mean, they clearly didn't anticipate somebody live streaming a Pages document, but there are these two small icons that look very similar. If you press one, it jumps to somewhere in the document. If you press the other one, it pulls up that person's contact information from your computer and shows it on the screen. And that includes your phone number, your address, and whatever else you put in. Okay,
Indeed.
LangTime demonstratives come at the very end of a noun phrase. We decided that last time. LangTime draws a distinction between, let's see, animate and inanimate demonstratives, as well as, some hairs there, as well as
dog hair.
as well as proximal and distal locations. This leaves LangTime with 4 distinct demonstratives.
Jonathan, I'm sure David has my social security number totally stored in my contact information, so I'm sure. I would, however, like to address Jake's question. How much dust do you have to get on a sweet to render it inedible? Now, my answer is going to be very different from David's answer, and I want to have everyone recall season 1, when David opened a Copico and dropped it on the floor.
Oh, yeah.
And may have had cat litter on the Copico, brushed it off, and ate it.
It was cat litter. I wouldn't have done that because the cat litter is made out of walnuts. It would have been disastrous.
That's the only reason. Because he's allergic to walnuts. Forget the cat litter. Oh, thank you, W. Watson. And so, yeah, I just want to recall that instance to mind. Now I want you to give an answer to Jake's question. How much dust needs to be on a sweet before it's inedible?
If it is a sweet that is sticky, I would throw it straight away. For example, if the Copico has been in your mouth and is now wet and drops on the ground and there's like little dusty hairs on it, I would throw it away. If, however, the sweet is not sticky and it just falls on the ground and you can brush it off, I say it's fine.
Okay.
If it can be brushed easily and it all comes off, it's fine.
There's your answer.
We're made of sterner stuff than that. You know what I mean?
Says the person who gets an ounce of dust in their breathing ways and has a sneezing attack for 4 days. Like, I'm a little concerned that you would eat the dust that, like, could kill you.
I want to gain its power.
Okay. So, Jake, we need a follow-up. We need to know, pictures, evidence, whatever, what dust got on the sweet, and did you, in fact, eat it? And
White rabbit. Yeah, take a picture of this.
I am really curious. I love this. It's like an unfolding adventure of Jake's White Rabbit Sweet. Okay, so as David now continues typing the demonstrative stuff, Alice, I would love if you could type in the phonetic pronunciation. I didn't say the other name for New Zealand because I didn't know how to pronounce it, the Maori name.
I assume it's Aotearoa.
Is that correct?
I mean, I only know from Hawaiian, but, Polynesian languages, I don't know, same. It's mostly,
they track.
Like, almost all of them are penultimate stress. And, yeah, you just pronounce all the vowels.
And it would be kind of a tap or a trill or?
Aotearoa, yeah, I believe so.
Aotearoa, something like that?
Yeah, in Hawaiian, the T became a K and the R became an L, and it became a better language as a result. But, yeah. So, yeah, like, if it were Hawaiian, it would be, Aotearoa.
Oh, that is beautiful.
Isn't it?
But nothing against Aotearoa. Aotearoa. Oh, my God. Aotearoa.
A trill? A trill? I don't believe that. Oh, but it does have the stress in a different place. Aotearoa. That's weird.
Oh, that's the New Zealand English pronunciation first. I was like, wait.
Autia. That's also a trill. That's not
Okay,
good. No.
that's interesting. But Alice said your pronunciation was right in the first place.
Oh, well, okay, but I didn't have the stress that Tethys had there. So now I'm wondering.
Miles has the untrilled R there. Okay. Um, gotcha.
Fair enough, Tethys.
And it means land of the long white cloud. That's amazing.
Yeah. Hold on a sec. I'm super
David
curious
is now on to that.
Like, do they have a totally different, like, stress system from Hawaiian?
I don't know. Wait, that's for actual examples. I'm just going to go ahead and do this.
Yeah, see, they have the same they have the same singular plural pair that Hawaiian does with bahine and bahine. But I don't know how the W is pronounced, if it's pronounced like a V or not.
There's my bullet.
It's apparently pronounced like a W.
Oh, this one looks lovely. Oops. I was in the wrong place.
Stress is typically within the last 4 vowels of a word, with long vowels and diphthongs counting double. That is on the last 4 mora. However, stressed mora are longer than unstressed mora, so the word does not have the precision in Maori that it does in some other languages. Okay. It falls preferentially on the first long vowel, on the first diphthong if there is no long vowel, and on the first syllable otherwise. Wow. So yeah, its stress system is totally different from Hawaiian's. Totally different. Oh, like you were saying, like, but like we don't have any forms.
No, but I just wanted to write those down.
Okay.
We're done.
Okay.
We're done with that for right now. We're going to put a pin in that.
Oh.
Hey, Carl.
Bibleridian.
Bib. What? I think Bibleridian fell asleep on the keyboard.
No, that's definitely a Maori where you can tell with the WH in there.
Oh my gosh. And that's one word, not like I need help with that. Like my brain shut down after Tauma. Tauma. Yeah. I need help with that. All right. So
yeah.
I've got that typed in. We've got that typed in.
Yeah.
That's just so we don't forget.
Uh-huh.
We will come up with forms. But today we want to switch a little bit.
Yes.
And we wanted to work more on the plurals, come up with a word for bird, and come up with a name for the language.
That's right.
All in the next hour and 16 minutes. And based on the fact that all we've done is really reveal poll results and some Copicon info, I'm a little concerned.
Yeah. Oh man, Jonathan was in Top Chat. I swear, Top Chat is the worst. All right. Let's first come up with a word for bird, because that's some low-hanging fruit right there. Super easy. This is our word for bird right
there. that was me trying to find the right R, and you're like, keep it all. This is a suggested root because it's possible, and this is of course good old mem.
Yeah.
But we need a bird, a root for bird. So if everyone
does that check mark mean something?
It means that bib is official.
Do we have one?
No. I mean, we see. I assume Bibleridian sees the check mark.
Hold on a sec. I'm gonna go onto Bibleridian's channel, and I'm gonna go and make a comment.
Look up top.
Okay, hold on a sec.
I think we have to do something to earn it or ask for it.
My goodness. Hold on a sec.
Thank you, Miles. Quab becomes quab. Quab.
I don't have a check mark either.
Miles has asked them to do a subscriber count, perhaps. Okay. So we have, I'm going to type down the suggestions we're getting. Oh, Bibbler just got a message from YouTube saying, hey, verify your account. And he was like, all right. And then that happened.
I thought I did that. I don't remember.
Do this. We're going to do that.
So, Tethys. Oh,
Tethys
wow.
has one.
Wait, but should you type them there or into...
This is where I was.
Oh, I was going to say into Lexergy.
Well, I can copy and paste. And I will do that in just a second. But once it disappears for me, it disappears. You know what I'm saying? Okay.
What do you mean, like German? Did you see what he says the W in German is? Is that true?
I think it depends on your dialect. I think it depends on your dialect. Oh my god, I put the little asterisks in there. And Jake, it's, oh, you know, we are avoiding polysyllabic words, but I was just like in my head assuming the oa was allowed. Did we allow diphthongs in the early?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what I thought too. So like that's fine that it comes out as disyllabic. What we don't want is a disyllabic. Oh yeah, we have, yeah.
I'm kind of surprised that that's what that comes out as. Why does? Because of the rounding, because of the rounding and the metathesis. Yeah. I am a little surprised that the R just disappears like that. So crow becomes quab,
which is really fun. Basically printed in a circle. That's amazing. Okay, and so yeah, Dutch, not German, apparently has the v. Although there are definitely dialects of German where you don't get a, like, Wasser is closer to Wasser. And like it always threw me off because I was like, what? Like, you know, I was taught to do these v for all the W's, and then suddenly like you get there and it's like, and same for like ich. Like I was taught ich. And then to get there and find out there are dialects of German where you get ish, and I was like so thrown off.
For some reason, I'm imagining you just wandering the streets in southern Germany, and an old woman comes up to you like, Wasser, Liebchen. And you just run.
Anyway, it's very, as anybody who has studied a language knows, when you go to the country and you find out that everything you learned about it was only like true for a small portion of a kind of dialect for the language, you get thrown off, and it's like, oh my gosh.
Oh, I think she was saying it wasn't X to sh, it was sh to sh, right?
There were, but Mateus is just saying in Berlin, the is not rare, but like, yeah, there were actual, there were dialects. I think most of them were in southern Germany that had like the ish, where it was like so different. Don't encourage him. Okay, I like all three of these forums, and I am happy for this to go to a vote.
Yeah, let's do it. Okay,
so make a poll.
Here we go.
We have three really good potential roots for bird. One of these is going to be our word. And then after that, we're going to return. Yeah, got it right there. After that, we're going to return to some plural strategies to get more. Right now, we only have a couple of strategies done, and we're going to get to the name of the language.
Yeah.
That is all on the books for today.
Oh. And then, and
Quav, Fed, Koa. I love all of these. We're gonna have to I'm gonna keep these roots in the document because I think we need to use them all at some point. Does you have Fjerdan information up on your language wiki, right?
no.
No. Okay, never mind. So Alice, great question. I don't think we've yet posted anything major for Zemini or Shu, which were the season 2 languages for Shadow and Bone.
Okay. So here's the thing. I'm going to give you the backstory on this. All right. I mean, first of all, obviously,
Backstory.
I've been very busy, right? I love my wiki, and I plan for it to be a resource for as long as I'm alive. But so there, first of all, to actually add a language is difficult because I have to remember what the heck to do, and I hate doing it. And also, I was just learning all this wiki stuff, just learning it.
I'm gonna pause real quick there in the story. Anime
Wow.
fan. It's
Wow.
it's Quav, Fel, Koa. Those are the 3 options.
Yep, that was
Go
good. Haughòf, Fel, sorry. Haughòf, Fel, Koa.
And Carl is offering help.
Yeah. Do you know wiki stuff? Because let me tell you, if you want to add a language, right? That's why I didn't add Sangheili. We've got a guy that wants to help us with that, by the way. I hope he's still on the line somewhere because that was like a year ago. But it's like you gotta go in there and you have to add things to the lines of code and make sure they all match up. Anyway, something that happened is that I got a whole bunch of people that wanted to help me with High Valyrian, and they're much better with techie stuff. And they were looking at things and figuring things out, and it was like, had this thing. I want you to imagine that a language has like 2 numbers and 3 cases. All right, so every noun has 6 forms. So when I was adding these things into the wiki for whatever language, it would be like there are 6 words in this language. So if you looked up the word list, it would give you all 6 of those forms. Well, what was pointed out to me is that what Wiktionary actually does is it chooses one of those forms as the head word, and those others are just what are called non-lemma forms. And so that if you pull up a big list of the vocabulary, it's not like you're looking at a huge word list and it's like, imagine if it was a verb in Spanish and it's just like, alphabetical list. It's like every single form of the Spanish verb before you get to the next lexical item, right? It just lists one of them. And then the non-lemma forms are somewhere else, right? So anyway, I realized that was a mistake. And then I had to go back and fix everything that I'd already added for all the other languages that nobody cared about but me, where I had to go and be like, okay, this one's a non-lemma form, so now I want to make it and have it match the form for High Valyrian that they made up that's much better. And then there's also, for example, what I like doing and what's very useful, I think, for people and also for me, is that for any conjugation or declension, there's something where it's like where you put it in, it just automatically declines it. So you can see the whole thing, right? You have to create that.
Yeah.
And it's very, very difficult.
Carl is saying yes, he can help them.
Oh. All right.
I will say, though...
I'm going to end this poll because we got our answer.
I will say, though, also... the dialogue from all the shows does go up, and so that's at least a resource because you can look at the language in terms of what the translation was and how how to pronounce it and things like that. And that goes up on David has an archive of our own site where
that's true.
All the dialogue. So you can access any of this season and last season's dialogue from Shadow and Bone. And Daedalus is his name there. So
hey, thanks, sure. So yeah, for example, with Fjerdan, what we would need, there's no singular plural distinction, which is great.
Mm.
But the noun declensions are a little bit difficult because there are three different genders, and there's a lot of overlapping forms. And then for the verbs, it gets a little hairy as well. Anyway, that's why often you will see, like, if you go to the languages on the wiki, you'll see that a lot of them have the nouns up, but not the verbs. It's because the nouns are usually easier to enter. Okay. All right, so item 1 is checked off the list. We now have a word for bird. That was important for reasons that we can't tell you about, but they're very important reasons.
We also, oh, that's down in the noun section. We had a start on plural strategies, where we have our modern system. We've got a sort of a singular form is just the form. Dual, we've got this little particle that works with it, and then we have our collective particle.
Yeah.
We need more because we had some other ideas, so we need to kind of flesh out at least a couple of those. And we need a language name. Which would you rather tackle right now, David?
I want to do the language name because I want that to be done.
Okay. You say ow. Okay.
Oh,
Have a good day, Bubba.
yeah, later on.
All right, so I'm going to go back up to the list here then, because this is where we're going to do entry names. So we had wanted to do for a while now, because it was Dark Horse, regular viewer, who actually hasn't been able to be here in a while.
Yeah.
But Dark Horse had suggested that we use the call for the dog language name. And I think that was way back in like the mouse or the cat language season. So it's like been a while that we've been holding on to this idea because we both were like, that's brilliant.
Yeah, it's a really good idea.
And so we want to have like to call be usable as a noun as well for like the call. That's going to be the language name. We had also batted around ideas because this does mean the language name will likely be one syllable if we just use call. But we had, David had recently, I think it was last episode, we had gotten into that discussion of how in like certain, like Mandarin Chinese words, they get sort of doubled up. And so it's not just fear, it's like fear terror becomes the new compound because like the original word for fear was a homophone with like 4 other words. And it's like, so no, this is the one we mean. So we were talking about potentially the idea of having call doubled up with something else like call howl or something where it's like we end up like sort of like really fortifying it as a stronger word. But that also, it kind of depends. It depends on what the word for call ends up being.
And I thought up an example in English just the other day because I used it in an email. It was snail mail, because for some reason we decided in the 90s that mail could mean email or regular mail, even though in modern days it can't really. And so we still have snail mail. It's a nice example of where it's just like you just threw in another word, one syllable to disambiguate. So for something like this, there is something very evocative about the call. However, the thing that is evocative about it is the fact that there is the in front of it. We had an option for articles. We said no to it. And so you can't get the same sense because it's just a single word. And so you can't do the same thing with it. So there are a couple of things we could do. We could do like call, howl, or howl, call, whatever order. We could also have some sort of an augmentative. So like the great call, something like that. What do you think? Our modifiers come second, right? Yeah, of course. Verb initial, yeah.
Could also be a like dog call.
Yeah. What is the word for dog? Brom. Oh, Brom.
And so
Our call is another option.
yeah, I was also thinking like our potential demonstratives like this call. Yeah. And then, I mean, I guess then it is the question like, do we just want a short name? It would be very different from Ngala, Tpachla, Wokotiju, Sarkeje, Au. Or
Or
whatever
how.
or whatever we end up. So yeah, we do have howl is
Yeah.
Hau, and so
Yeah.
that could be.
Because we actually didn't create a name for call, a word for call. I searched the document; it's not in there.
No, we don't. Alice just used stonkeringly. I love it. It's definitely not hot here.
It hasn't been hot for a long time.
Reduplication, Kara suggests too,
Yeah.
could be like.
Yeah,
It's like the call.
You can absolutely. It just doesn't sound very good for what we had initially been planning. That's either how or ow ow. Sounds more like Chihuahua.
Ow, ow.
Yeah.
So they did get their votes heard after all. The corgis quieted down enough for the chihuahuas to speak up and say, ow, ow. So.
Oh, I did just come up with an idea.
Okay.
Some dogs bark, some dogs howl.
Bark howl.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I love it. And we already have both.
We do?
Yeah, bark howl, right there.
Oh, yeah.
Wolf howl. Howl.
Wolf howl. I don't know what order it would go in.
I think the other one.
Haughòf.
Yeah, because that sounds.
Haughòf.
It sounds better.
Let's put it in.
Because then you don't get the f and the h back to back.
Haughòf. Haughòf. Haughòf.
Well,
Haughòf.
if we did it the other way, I think the h would drop out or the f would drop out.
Let's
like just over time, not even because of a sound change, just like.
Oh, that's some interesting syllabification.
Indeed. But
okay, so yeah, I think it's going to be Haughòf or Rofau. Yeah.
Because you would just end up losing one of those fricatives.
Yeah. And the thing is, it would stay voiceless because otherwise it would voice to Rovau.
Mm-hmm.
But
the H will keep it voiceless.
Yeah.
Okay, so Miles is saying no language of ours yet has a coda, so let's give the coda a chance. But I think what we're potentially working up to is maybe a poll.
Yeah, I think so.
So Miles, make sure everybody knows that this is what you want. Start campaigning for let's get Haughòf. Give it a chance, people.
Okay, I'm gonna do. Let's see. Okay.
Ooh, it's a lot of IPA typing.
Yeah.
In the meantime,
Modern.
But David is working on this to figure out what we're gonna call this.
Is that what the... Yeah.
Oh.
Interesting. There it's Haughòf. It's probably because of its presence next to the uvular that it does that.
Mm.
Okay, so this is
this is bark howl.
Bark howl. Now
Oh, that's a good question.
No, like I mean, and honestly, this is one of those ones where they'd have probably a very strong hashing out because the dogs would be arguing about which one comes first if it was more important.
Jake is campaigning for something like Halram. just because it sounds better than Haughòf. Be dog, howl.
Let's see.
Sometimes it's hard to get the right H's in there. Obviously, the beagles are all about howl bark as the name.
Oh my God, Hofbram. Hofbram.
Yeah, Haughòf would be better if we're going to go that route. Unless we took out the B and like made it Hofbram. No.
Well, I don't know.
Hofbram.
Like what would make sense?
All right, so Jake, we're adding those as options. And staring at that Hofbram, Hofbram,
Hofbram.
Hofbram,
Hofbram. 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 Hofbram.
Oh yeah, almost think either the f join as f, or it becomes like
Hofbram.
Bram.
I feel like Hofbram. 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 I feel like the f is stronger, and that even though I think Hofbram. No, that's right. It always does voice, doesn't it?
And so it's like the fricative stays. And then the only other thing to do is add in the English because we got Barcala for the top option, but we don't have the next two. Woo!
You ready for this?
I don't know. And we'll definitely pronounce these when they go up, and David will pronounce them because
Hofbram. Hofbram. We're shortening that one, so it's not Hofbram. It does sound very German, but that's getting shortened. Okay.
Yeah.
Here we go. All right.
All right, David, go for it.
Yeah, let me. It's gonna collapse it. I want to make sure it was. Okay, so we have for bark howl, Rofau. For howl bark, Haughòf. For dog howl, Haughòf. For dog bark, Rovram. There you go.
I am really torn because I like the concept of one better, but I like the sound of another one better.
I wonder, in Biblaridian's biological opinion, do more dogs bark or do more dogs howl?
That's a good question. And so, Biblaridian, if you have a good answer for that, please let us know. And I'm also thinking like the difference between like wild dogs and domesticated dogs, because really you don't hear wild dogs doing barking. It's more yipping and howling, right? Like wolves, coyotes.
Yeah.
I feel like it's the domesticated dogs that started barking. Now, of course, our dogs come from those domesticated dogs, and so quite a few bark. But what would feel more doggish to them? I don't know. I don't know. Oh, all votes are cast, and we have a tie. And so that is very interesting question. See if Bib has an answer. We're up to 25. What? We are surpassing. We're surpassing, and David is not
I may have just logged in.
calling it. I am not going to comment on such things. I saw what was happening. Instead, I'm going to focus on thinking forward. Once we get this language name set,
My goodness.
we're going to need to think plural strategies in the last 50 minutes of our stream.
All right.
The tie broke, unbroke, etc., etc. Okay, Bib.
Oh,
Okay, okay.
that seems like a poor. It seems like an area of biology that needs to be expanded. I think they're quite different.
Interesting. Haughòf and Haughòf. We have a tie.
Haughòf. Haughòf.
Okay, so do you want to know what my conundrum is?
Yeah.
I like the concept of how bark better.
Mm-hmm.
I like the sound of dog bark better.
I like the concept of how bark better as well. Haughòf. Haughòf.
Although spelled out, this would just be Haughoph for the top one. Is that how we would Romanize it?
Haughòf.
F, just F? Okay. Oh yeah, why would we need a PH? Oh my gosh, what a silly thing for me to say. Huh.
It's okay. Evidently
You gonna kick me out of my hosting chair?
That's all right. I mean, the French didn't figure it out when they were Romanizing Vietnamese, so.
So like thinking about how they would look Romanized, and I'm just gonna type it here because this is,
Yeah.
we're gonna have to see it a lot. So, that's kind of cute. And this one would be, oh, that's kind of cute too.
And there is this is just an artifact, I think, of it's an artifact of Lexergy, but I don't think that we plan to distinguish between au and owl. Owl,
Oh, right.
But there is something that we're missing. So for both of them.
Oh, I didn't do it right. Oh, that's right. That's right. Thank you. I forgot about that.
But I'm going to go ahead and not put the grave accent over the U because I don't think that we should distinguish those diphthongs, au and all.
I agree with that assessment. This is really hard for me.
Yeah.
Should we do a runoff vote between these two? Or do you feel strongly? And do you have an opinion to add? Because Haughòf.
Oh.
I can't do it. But it's in both, so like I can't do it either which way. Haughòf. I'm really torn. Oh, although Bib is pointing something out very interesting. Haughòf sounds vaguely like Charcharov.
Haughòf. It's the greatest of all wolves. Rather fitting.
Karcharov is how I would say it as the river possum that I am.
Lord of the Rings. Look at that guy.
Woo!
So how is it pronounced?
Yeah, is there a pronunciation of this?
It's funny. So it's Karcharoth, who was also named, and now they do give IPA on Faulir, the Jaws of Thirst.
Miles, yeah, the O distinction is not super predictable because all the uvulars disappeared, and they were what triggered part of that distinction. But now they're all velar, and so like you'll end up getting some things.
So oddly
Okay,
enough,
Mateus is saying carjaro.
yeah, I looked up translations because for some reason they have translations into other languages, and any language that has a ch is using that ch.
Okay.
Except for Persian and Pashto, evidently. What does Arabic do? Yeah, Arabic also, wait. That can't be. Okay, that Arabic just looks garbage. It has first it starts with a char, and then it's got the glyph for cha, followed by an H, followed by an aleph, and then R-O, or, wow, T, ta marbuta. Chaharu, whatever.
It's a complicated name.
Yeah, it's complicated.
Okay, so back to your opinion. Do you
Yeah.
have opinion on this, or do you want to do a runoff poll between these two?
Haughòf. Haughòf. Haughòf.
Like, part of me just wants to do the top one simply because I do like the concept better, and it does bring two major types of them communicating just back to back. To them, they don't need to say dog because it's like, obviously this is our language. And bark to me is evocative of dogs. Of course, it may not to them. They may count other sounds as barking, so they need to verify, like, this is not just any bark. This is.
I have a solution. It is an incredible solution, and I am quite proud of it.
I can't wait to see it. And then once you have that solution, can we celebrate?
Yes, we can. We are definitely going to celebrate it. Because this language, since the dog clans, of course, were separate and came together, there were actually two different languages that had two different names. One of them was Haughòf, one of them was Haughòf. When they came together, they made Haughòf as the new name for their language.
And so that's it? That's what it's going to be?
That is it. And so, and then of course, naturally these other names will still be in use, maybe just amongst the dogs that howl and amongst the dogs that bark. They will be, they'll be just different names for the same language. And essentially names of dialects. And so we already have names for two different dialects in here.
Nice.
And then, of course, these dialects easily separate into different sub-dialects because you can have the Chihuahua, Haughòf, and then you can have the Cocker Spaniel, Haughòf, and so on. I like this.
Well, of course, if it's a Chihuahua, it's not so much of a oh, it's more of a yeah.
You wouldn't say that to a Chihuahua.
What do you do, bite my ankle?
The Chihuahuas, by the way, they're going to be the little engineers of the dogs.
Okay, Karis has found a paper talking about canine vocalization, which clearly treats barks, howls, growls, whines, yelps, snores, groans, and grunts as different categories, but it does not delineate the difference between barks and howls.
Yeah, because the thing is, like, there are some dogs which do not howl. Yep. All right.
You know what to do.
Yep.
Grab it.
Yeah, but if you want to do something while we're doing this, I recommend you close the dog lang document because the great changeover is going to happen.
Well, if I close it, I'm going to have to black out to open it again. And if I close it, I think it's going to take me to my other pages window, which is still open.
Not necessarily. Because, well, here.
Well, let's black out so I can check and make sure everything is saved that I need to have saved on what you're about to close.
So, yeah, that's what I want.
All right, so we're still here.
Because as long as you're, well, maybe not. Okay. All right. Here we go. And then, and so, okay, and so
Do I
now,
need to quit pages?
no,
No, I don't need to
no.
quit pages. All right, so we'll come back. The screen will come back after David updates the name because it is getting updated on the document side. And once that is updated, we'll bring back the document view. Really,
All right, that one's
this is,
taken
it looks
care of.
nice. It looks nice. I'm on board with this. I will struggle with that, but I will get there. I will get there.
Okay, I think
And now you're
that's,
ready to rename the actual document.
yes. So I need to close this as well. I want to make sure, I think, yeah, should be updated everywhere. Okay, open. This is good because we don't have a language name that begins with H. Like
For ours, yeah.
yeah. And so, dog lang. Oh no!
David tried to lock the document.
Actually, I tried, I accidentally clicked the thing remove download. That would have been terrible.
All right,
Okay.
so now hopefully we're gonna make sure.
All
right.
right. Yeah.
So now I'm going to reopen. You know what? I'm just gonna do it this way because they can't see, right? Just a second. It's taking my computer a minute. There we go. I saw it move. It was taking a minute before it allowed the changes to go through. Just a second. There we go. Okay. I'm going to exit out of that. I'm going to get my view set back up. Here we are, coming back, coming back. Ta-da! Okay. Now, for you, this may not seem like much, but for us, we've got our grammar updated, the actual document name updated, and now we can have some fun with that.
Yeah.
Whoop, as I forget how to scroll. There we go. And now we celebrate. Haughòf.
Cheers. Haughòf. It gets a little easier as you say it. It's no tabasha.
It's a pal ha. You never know.
Kopiko. To pals, huh?
No, I mean if you're gonna offer to take trash. All right. Now, wow. David is also switching the Discord chat name.
Yep.
Does it let you?
It doesn't.
Okay, so we cannot do the Grav accent on the channel name. But that's okay, because I think Ingala. It allowed the acute.
No. I think I gotta just, instead of using my keystrokes, I think I gotta go in like this.
And insert it. Okay, so never mind. He's working on seeing if it'll do it this other way.
Yep.
And it did, and now it is appropriately named.
Oh, and let's see what we did for.
Perfect. Okay. So now that is all good. Okay, well we can update those things later, David, while we think about other number sources.
Is that what we're doing next?
That is, because we have singular, we have dual, and we have collective, but we had ideas for having a lot of other variation, and I would love some of that variation, at least a couple examples, including maybe the pakal, the paw, Cool. And maybe like a medium large or large group or something like that to offer something in between a dual and a collective.
All right. Let's go to number. Okay, so the modern system. We have our collective, we have our dual, we have our singular.
Mm-hmm. Now, we had the idea of doing these kind of verbal things. We had that idea.
Yeah.
We may not want to stick with that. We can change it, perhaps. I mean, it just kind of depends. Because
no, we were going to do this, and then we were going to have it connect with the genitive. Is that right?
Yes.
So the older ones were going to connect directly, but not these ones that are based on verbs. Honestly, I love pool. I love it.
Okay, so let's. Wait, what was? I'm going to copy this style. One of the best tricks David ever taught me. It's the copy and paste style. It has changed my life.
There, you see?
My work life,
you
anyway.
See? I can teach Jesse something every so often.
Teach me things all the time.
What's the names of things?
And how to pronounce things, apparently. So let's decide on. I'm trying to think of the reasons I need this, and I think the columns go. And so let's decide how many forms we need. I'm gonna show you my little chart.
What's going on here?
We're thinking first. We need to think about a pooling of. We have the genitive, right?
Mm-hmm.
These are little birds. They're in flight.
They're little V's.
Okay, so these are the columns I'm going to need to fill.
Right.
With, Haughòf is one.
Yeah.
We've got the dual. We've got the collective.
Okay.
We'll use pool here, and then I need one more form here. And so whether we want to do large, medium, large, whatever.
Okay, for the ones that we've come up with that we like.
We don't, I'm now like not super, I don't know, having this as the language name,
Yeah,
I don't know that we want to do that.
Yeah, I get that. So this is what I like. I like play and I like run.
Okay. We could actually, the more we get, the more I can include as examples as well. So
I know, but like this is really good because we have the old system, and the old system came from nouns, and they're in apposition and they occur right before. These new ones all come from verbs that have been nominalized. So it's a pulling of blank, a playing of blank, a running of blank. And I like those three.
All right. I love it. I actually, and I think it's like this, I feel like dogs could just on the fly make up fun things. If we did like the rain idea, a raining of blank, that would be kind of English cute, but I don't know that it works for the language.
Yeah.
But I would love to get these three forms then.
Okay.
And so we need roots for those. And I do want to go back up because we did have some
genitive to see.
Oh yeah, and also, oh wait, our genitive was up top, wasn't it, with all the forms?
Mm-hmm.
All right,
genitive is I.
And so that will be, and it palatalizes whatever comes after it. Well, not whatever. If it can palatalize, it will palatalize. I'm going to put it that way. but the order is going to be verb of blank, right? Like, so it's going to be verb, genitive, noun.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. Want to make sure I got that. We do have, okay, ignoring this because that was just a funny thing that happened while I was trying to find the right R. We do have these roots that we haven't used yet that we liked, but we can also come up with others, obviously. And I wanted to remind, all right, Bel and Koa, because, you know, actually typing out the...
Kara says, if it can palatalize, it will palatalize. But enough about tapatla.
Even if it can't palatalize, it's going to palatalize. It's going to figure out some way. I think mem stayed the same.
Mem.
Mm-hmm. And then I'm just going to copy this over because that's easier than having to type everything. Oh, that's right. That's what it came out to. It was... All right. You remember everything.
It's going to be gvor. Because it's in between the genitive. There's anything that ends in a consonant that can have intervocalic mutation is going to.
Mm-hmm. Oops. It was that one, right?
No, I don't think so. Oh, my. Look at how wrong I was. First time.
It's first time for everything. Mm-hmm. Okay, so yeah, so this would, if we had this as something, it would end up voicing because it's a phrase, and so it would be that phrasal unit.
Okay, I don't like that. I think these should be shorter and quicker and lighter. I like mem. Bell is okay.
Okay, and so...
throw out some others.
So yeah, throw out some ideas, short, quick, less hefty than this one, and let's keep it to try to keep the modern form to one syllable, in part because I don't want to figure out if that would end up dropping out with the after it, like in fast, like would it just end up being like koa?
Yeah. Oh wow, that's really short.
You ask for short, David. They respond. If that's too short for you, we can always add something to it.
Hold on a second.
Te, kau, la. Okay, so we get te, kau, la, la. Do we? Oh yeah, we do have. So that would be, oops, wrong way. Nope. There we go. I eventually got it. Whoop. Oh yeah, we don't have a P. Okay. Bech. Oh, that's kind of fun. I like that, Jake. There we go. Doing the H dance. There we go. Bech. All right, do you like any of these?
I'm still working with te because I think it can become essentially cha, chai.
As it butts up against the ah of the genitive?
Yeah, I'd feel more comfortable with that if the form were tea.
With an ah?
Yeah.
I like that.
What do you like it for?
All right, so the protoform would be tea. But let me bounce back down to our verbs that we were working with for these units. Run, play, or pull. Oh, I think I like it for play.
Yeah.
So it'd be like chavram would be a small group of dogs.
Yeah. Wait, what? How does that one? How does that one do? Sorry. Yeah, you're right. Okay.
I'm going to just write this down because I'm going to need to go back up. Oops, becomes schwa, cha. And that's going to be to play. And then we still need to pull and to run. So I'm going to go look at those forms again as well. So I type this in our list of things we will eventually enter. I guess I should start being more specific with which form I enter IPA wise.
So in this case,
Mm-hmm.
Where are you?
Well, I went back up to type
Oh,
that
okay.
into the list, and then I can come back down.
I wrote it with the apostrophe because it's going to be treated like a contraction.
Up here, we couldn't do the apostrophe because what? There was something that, oh, because that was going to be pharyngealization.
Okay, we're going to just not write the apostrophe.
Well, the question is, would we have it like this, where like you would just understand it's pushed together and just have the CH as its own little unit? Even though like in context, you would understand that the CH is going to attach to the ah behind it.
I don't know. Yeah, I suppose. Here. It's kind of unique. But this means play. And this is going to be
a little large, however we want to. Small group.
So we have the paucal, the greater paucal.
I like it.
All right. And then, so then we're going to have, just to fill this out, we're going to have a paucal and a plural.
Mm-hmm.
And
the magpie, paucal, and the paucaler.
If anybody has a better name for, the greater paucal, by all means. And now I am very curious.
Wasn't super plural a thing? So could this be like subplural? Hypoplural?
Oh, wow.
A super paucal?
So, Tethys has pointed out that Lexergy just can't handle this. It's weird. If you add this, it's fine. But if you do that,
because it doesn't fit the, because that's not a coded.
Te is just becoming cha.
Okay. Baccalaureate. I love it. And magpie Joking or not, the severalative. I like it. Miniatural. I didn't see that, Mateus.
Or
Nice.
the groupal? Like, is there, what's the word for group in Latin?
Okay, come on. Think. Well, you may be able to find it faster than me if my.
Probably.
Well, goodness, if I could hit the enter key correctly. I think I'm getting all
Oh,
sorts of.
circulus. So that's why, circulus, that's why animations, I guess, suggested the curricle.
Mm,
There's also grex. Never heard of that word.
interesting.
And this genitive is gregi, so that would be the gregel. This sounds like a totally fake and made up word. Are you kidding me?
Oh my gosh, David. Okay, what if we had, and I gotta type this out, of course, the pockle, and then the packle. Those could be our groups. I'm gonna take that away because it got all underlining because it thinks that line needs to be underlined. There we go. I think I fixed it. Okay. So now we have oh, nice. So
He says all right.
By the Packalope. Yes. All right, so we've got.
So we need to get the plural and the packle now. So we need to come up with a word for pull and a word for run.
And did you like any of these other forms that we had here? Ooh.
I don't like any of these forms that end in vowels. We've done one.
Okay, so no more vowel endings. We need something that ends in a consonant. We do have the bech, bech, bech.
We do. I kind of like mem for pull. What about you?
Well, yeah, because mem has to make it into the language somehow. I do like that. Murm, murm, murm. That's what I'm doing when I pull things with my teeth. Bad. Interesting. I'm going to come back up here for a second. No. We already have a T.
So we have K, H, M, cha. That's pretty good.
Oh, we already have the H, right? Okay. So to get something a little bit different.
L?
Yeah, I was thinking one of these three as the start. Get walk.
I like the regular L for run. Luck. Luck.
With a Q or a K?
Luck with a K.
And
See what happens to it.
That would just be.
No, I was going to suggest. Well, keep that one. Keep that one.
Okay.
Now do one with a schwa.
Okay. And I was assuming unrounded, or did you want rounding to potentially play into what comes next?
Give it a. I mean, no. Unrounded.
No, this.
No, don't do that.
Okay. Well, then that's all I need to do.
Maybe. All right, put them both in there. Put them both in there.
I was just gonna see if it would potentially do anything. Does it need to be W first? I'm just gonna do it. Let me see if that'll take it.
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay. Oh, and then it gives us the right. But then my question was, would they end up interacting in an interesting way
Yeah.
with the ah following it? Like, would it not need, because if it got pushed together early enough, would it just be like le quoi, instead of, you know, le hu, ah? Oh, well, that's fun, Tethys, that comes out as old. Nice. In spring, that's fun. Listen, I was just drinking some La Croix earlier, La Croix, depending on how you say it.
So assuming that they were kind of like treated like a phonological unit is just, there's really not much of a difference. It's just,
La Croix.
see, it's just whether it becomes
a
or
kind of
cha.
a rounded. Okay, okay. So in that case, it just adds a potential. I mean, it would kind of hide it a little bit, where like the full lexeme would be lacho or lacho, but the shortened form would just be lach. But other than that,
Yeah. I kind of like that.
and this would be for running.
Yeah.
I'm gonna add it up here, and then I can
Let's do it.
join you. Which one were you doing? The lach. All right. And that one becomes, oops. Lacho.
I think these should all be single words.
Oh, you're gonna like really push them?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so then we have them all. Oh wait, I forgot to pull. I forgot to put that up there. And that just stays min. Okay. All right. Well, yay! Gosh, I want to celebrate again. I'm so excited.
Mm-hmm.
And that stays mem. Cool. Okay. So we've got those forms. We've got these. We have the examples that I needed. Now we can start thinking about, well, what the heck are we going to do for a poll? I almost said a poll. But a poll this week.
Okay, so we got our numbers taken care of. We got our 3 basic prepositions. We kind of got a word order. We have our order of elements in a noun phrase. Means we gotta move on to verbs.
Silvertail points out that we get wolf from wolf. That's kind of fun. Wolf. For like just some future root.
I mean, couldn't you get that with just W too? Or is there something special about the L? W.
I think she had said you wanted it to start with the L.
Oh, that's so nice of you.
And so that just ends up coming out as wolf. Amount of aspect distinctions. Boy, we're moving ahead. You want us to move ahead to verbs when we are still trying to do just ideas for nouns. Miles, that is...
I mean, I think we're all but done with nouns. We got to write this stuff up.
We do need to write it up, but I feel like that's still like ambitious to go from this to number of aspect distinctions.
How do we do possession? Have we figured that out yet? We did, right? That's with.
Well, we have the genitive. What we didn't discuss was, you know, is there going to be alienable and inalienable kind of distinctions?
Yeah, and we haven't discussed what pronouns are going to be, right?
Mm-mm. I don't believe so anyway. I don't remember talking about pronouns. And like we don't have, no, we don't have anything in the chart. I was just making sure that I wasn't misremembering that. Miles, you're right. You're right. Gotta start that offer high.
False ergative monster.
That's Sprink, Magpie's language, which is called Sprink because it was begun during spring break. We'll leave that over there for now.
You can have this one.
I'll remember to reach across to the pink bottle.
Okay. We haven't decided on pronouns yet, right?
We have not, no. And Jake
It's an
has
easy one.
suggested potentially kin terms for animate pronouns, but the old pronouns remain as simple little inanimate ones. Because we do distinguish animacy and demonstrative, so then I guess the question is, are we going to distinguish animacy and pronouns?
Yeah. So that's a good poll. So we're going to do pronouns for the poll.
So we do have an idea there. Yay! Goodness. I'm excited. What do you mean by that, Tethys? Do you mean just all willy-nilly, let everyone decide what pronouns are in the moment? Because if that's the case, like that kind of defeats the purpose of a pronoun in the first place. Oh, Magpie. When you get into the middle of something and take a step back and go, wait, what just happened? Have fun. Jake, I would love to find out like what suggestion you have for kin terms. Like what you're thinking of for that. I would love to hear more about that. What is the Japanese pronoun system like?
They don't really use them, and so like pronouns kind of get added sometimes. Usually just from nouns.
So is it more open classy where it's like just whatever you're talking about?
Yeah, but like not like super. I mean, some of them are a little bit more standard, like watashi is like I, but then there are like a whole bunch of different ways that you can say I, and so it because of that, I think that's what lent the idea that it could be more open, and so like because this is my guess. I think because the etymologies for some of these non-pronoun pronouns are so transparent, it makes it easy to just bring in a new one.
Okay. Jake's going to write up a little explainer about the kin terms and what they had in mind for that, because I am interested to see
Demonstrative
potential there.
Pronouns could be.
Yeah, that could be an option, Miles.
Yeah. So that'll be a part of the poll.
And Jake, are you going to put that into Discord, or like I wasn't sure how long it would take because 6 minutes left, we may end up running out of time. But if you can pop that into, if we run out of time before you're done typing, Discord is a great place, obviously, for that too. Demonstratives. Just jotting down some notes here, so I know David won't forget. Okay, thanks, Jake. And David is getting our little explanation written here, which is beautiful.
Should be exactly opposite.
Yeah, there's no way to highlight text and be like, can you reverse the order of these bullets?
Mhm. I'll leave it to you to just bulletize this.
Do you trust such things to me?
I trust you implicitly.
I am now like, we need to get more dog emojis because if we had them even saved in the art, like we at some point we're gonna run out of things we can use on
Yeah.
Discord. Um, but we just need more because then I could pull in those image emojis here and we could have all our bullet points be dogs.
You should try drawing like different dog heads.
I will get on that. It'd be easier if I did it specifically for the emojis for the bullets because then I could save it as a transparent background instead of making you go through all of the process of removing the backgrounds that were already there.
Okay. All right.
They're all just brown. This is the system. In other words, there is no system, but you need to know when to use which, slightly different pronunciation. Oh.
I think I want to do this. Do I want to do this or did I want a table?
Let's just run with this because you got this.
Right.
We may decide after you're done with it to table it, and that means something different than the other table.
I'm kind of disgusted by this. I need a table. I'm so sorry.
And so this will be the end of our stream. David getting the table set up, and so it'll take a minute.
I'm so sorry. Like.
So Sotan, actually in Discord not too long ago, Bubba posted a map of like countries where the term mother could get used for children, regardless of gender or anything. So like it could just be applied to a child, but still be used to refer to mother. And then that brought in other examples. I think Yiddish was one of the examples where like grandmother was actually a term you could use to call a child. Like the word for grandmother. And so anyway, that started a whole discussion. And so yeah, Sotan, it's been super interesting. Just Knon all over again. It's all Knonish.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, Jonathan. That's what I was like. I thought it was the Yiddish example, and yeah, so the diminutive of grandma ends up being something.
Okay, this is what's going to happen. We're going to have some other ones in here that demonstrate some of the different,
variations.
Palatalizations. Sure. Okay, so then dual is. I actually don't know what happens.
So I can leave mine kind of up higher so you can see the origins on my screen.
Okay, I got it. Sorry.
Okay.
This is what I meant. That's what I didn't know.
Okay, sure.
Okay, then the palatal will just be
mim.
Myron. Gregel is Chibam. Plural. Lachwaivram.
And then Hevram for fur. I think, because it's just the he or him.
Oh, no. Hold on a sec.
Oh, would that end up interacting with the B?
Yeah, of course. Himram. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
But I think that it does, right? It does
yeah, because the geminates go away, I believe.
Yeah.
And I think that's a standard, right? Like a geminates disappear.
No, it was more like, let's look at what the where is
I mean, it makes sense for it to disappear.
O before a consonant. Before a vowel. Yes, that was it. And so it would be the same thing here. He before a consonant, and hem before a vowel. Oh, can you go up and look at the genitive, please?
Oh, at the very top?
No, what is it before a consonant? Where does it show up as ah? Where does it show up as I?
It shows up as I before a vowel and
Before a vowel.
before a consonant.
Oh, gosh darn it. So yeah, these should all be, yeah. There we go. And so now, to fill this out, some noun that begins with a vowel and some noun that begins with something other than B that reacts a little bit differently.
Well, we have floppy ears, allo.
Perfect.
So there's that one. And then would the K become palatalized? So quav.
Let's do it. Let's do it. And so that's just quav, right? Quav.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Allo. Actually, let's do it like this, and we don't have to remember. Allo, and then now the eyes show up. Kayalo.
Yeah, kayalo.
And himalo.
Yeah.
All right, and so for quav, we need to figure out how it's going to change.
Ooh, this is exciting.
Where's that word for bird? Like, what's its protoform?
It was K with the W and then R-A-W.
W?
Yeah.
Okay, and then do Hua and Gua. Okay.
Ooh, so we get some different things here.
All right. Hua. Okay, good. Imahuav, Chahuav, Achahuav, and then Hegwav.
I feel like we need something starting with a T though, because wouldn't that become ch in between? So wouldn't like with the palatalization?
Yeah, so K doesn't palatalize? I guess KW doesn't palatalize.
Just K does. So like we're out of nouns that we've actually created that fit this.
Okay.
And so we may just need to like create a noun that
Dog,
specifically
name.
fits.
There we go. Doho name. That'll work.
Oh, because it'll become j. I forgot that the D participates.
Yep. All right. So name. Doho.
And that's do in the protoform.
Yeah, actually, let me just check really quick.
And then as we're finishing this, and then like stream is really over. We're finishing this because it's exciting to get this chart done, and it does indeed participate in some different shifts here that show a good distinction. But as we're wrapping up, yes, the poll this week will be on pronoun forms. Next week we will not be live.
Yes.
We're going to be presenting to a university group at pretty much at the precise time that we would otherwise be streaming.
Mm-hmm.
And so we will not be able to stream next week. We don't know yet if there will be something posted.
Yeah. Is this how we determined we were Romanizing this, by the way? I think so.
That's a really...
We're just going to use like SH for
because
or were we going to do SY and ZY?
We never really talked about Romanization.
Yeah.
Other than the
it's basically
accent.
If we want to be like true to Tapafla.
True to our school. So it's a question. But anyway, we will not be here live. We may try to have a special something to go live on Thursday instead.
Yeah.
We are going to do our best to make that happen. But we will be live again on the last Thursday of the month, which is the 27th. And so we'll be back here and streaming for more Haughòf fun. And so, so thank you all for being here. Have a wonderful 2 weeks until we can see you live again. And stay grammar.
Bye, everybody. Oh, I can do that.
Well,
I can do that.
do it right now. I did
Okay,
it.
go ahead.
Oop, there we go. Now I did.